Hi everyone, welcome to my latest review on the Miele Blizzard CX1 in blue. This one's going to be a bit different because I'm actually a bit biased because I really like this one. And it's also the first time that I'm reviewing a vacuum cleaner. So let's get started on this. First of all, as you can see, the vacuum arm is actually stood up at the moment. That's because the very first point I'd like to point out is really daft, but I like it. It has a little clip on the side where you can store the upright part of the vacuum. So when you're just wandering along, instead of throwing it on the floor, you just push it straight down on the side and it stays there. First point. Take that off so that we can show it around. Here we've got the actual rod of the vacuum, whereas this little part here, when you pull it up, it just goes short, but then every time you let go it locks in, so it's completely secure, can't move that at all. Just go around the rest of the head. We've got the clips to be able to take on and off the heads. Let's just put that back on, and then we've got this button to switch over between rugs and normal carpet. All that does is basically changes the brushes on the bottom. Excuse the mess under there, I've been using it. It just pulls those in and out every single time you press it, as you can see. There we go, from the side. Okay, moving up to the top part on here, we've got a little bit of an opening to be able to switch over to lessen the suction. So if you get something stuck on there, you can just open it up and it'll let loose. Right, going back to the actual vacuum itself, we've got it. So it's a standard push around vacuum. I can stand it upright, or you can, just for standing it still, or when you put it down onto the ground, it's very mobile. So if you're just pulling the actual vacuum around itself, it can move side to side, backwards, forwards, all over the place, just as you're pushing it. That's because it's got these wheels on the underneath, which go all over the place. Okay, you'll also see there's another little hook there for placing the head of the vacuum, the arm of the vacuum up when you're not using it. Right. As you probably read from the descriptions online, this vacuum's actually bagless. So we've got a little system here where we lift up the handle and you need to be able to hold it down a little bit, pull up, and that removes the container for all your mess. The container itself is actually opened with this little orange tab there. You press that and it opens the bottom flap. Around this does get a little bit dusty, but nothing to dissuade you from using it, and so does the inside there. That can all be cleaned out reasonably simple because that's the only part that you're actually opening up. You can open up this filter in order to clean it out. However, there is, when you actually turn it on, there's a little button here which is a self-cleaning function for that, which I'll show you once I turn it on. We've got 4 different modes on here. So you've got the minimum from curtains to rugs to bigger rugs and to full-blown carpet on there, or tiles. Those do make a massive difference. So your basic one, I would say that the curtains are the equivalent of a normal vacuum cleaner, whereas the tile one is probably the equivalent of a reversed wind tunnel. It's that powerful. It's just ridiculous. Then we've got the on-off button, and although this says comfort on it, no idea why it says comfort on it, but that is just the retraction button for the cable. There we go. Last point is on the connectors here. You've got one of these heads, very useful for doing around the stairs, in the corners, etc. And then on the other side you've got one of the longer ones, and they just pop in and out, so you're carrying them around. There's also, bizarrely enough, an additional head which comes with it, which doesn't have a space, which is this unit here. Not sure why they couldn't have made an extra little space to be able to pop that into somewhere. I've looked around and can't see anything. There's nothing on the instructions for it, but there we go. That's included as well. Right. Let's turn it on and see what it does. I'm going to keep it down low, otherwise you won't be able to hear me much on the video. So we've got it all plugged in, turned on, and just press the on button there. As you can hear, it's really quiet. This means that on the lowest setting you can actually do the vacuuming while the kids are in bed, which I'm sure everybody was desperate to do. So you can hear it running there. Obviously I don't know whether you can see anything running straight into the vacuum here, probably not on the video, but let's go ahead and we'll put it onto a clean. This is the filter clean part, so you press that down. As you can see, it sounds like it's turning off, but then you get a bunch of these clicks, click until it's all finished, and then it'll start back up on its own to be able to say, yep, I've done that, and you can carry on cleaning. It does automatically do this when it feels like it needs to clean the vacuum filters itself, but I have been doing that for the last few days myself, just to make sure that it's up at 100% efficiency. As you can probably see on the top there now, that's actually cleaned itself up quite well, because I can see the filter directly myself now, whereas before that you couldn't really see it very well. Okay, I'll do this a quick twist so that you can see what the difference just in noise is, but here we go. And as you get up, it sounds like a rocket ship. There we go. We'll turn that back down and give this a little bit of a shot. You can see just from me pushing it over, from pulling, you can see that that's still pulling quite a lot on the actual vacuum, on the carpet itself. So you can see that that's going to be pulling up. I did actually leave my carpet to get dirty in this specific spot to be able to show you. That's probably working against me because I'm pulling up quite a few of the dog hairs off the carpet right now. But hey, at least you can see that this thing works. The brushes on the bottom of the actual head itself do tend to help in picking up a load of dog hairs that, at least I presume it's all dog hairs, that were never picked up with any of the other vacuums that we've had from other very well-known brands by British inventors. But so all in all, this one is probably one of the best ones I've had, because it's managed to, this will get the carpet perfectly clear. As I said, I've left this to be able to get dirty, but if I ran that over, it'll pick up almost every single strand of hair that we've got laying around. So all in all, an absolute fantastic vacuum cleaner. I would recommend it highly, and I probably won't be replacing this one for quite a while based on its construction. Hope you enjoyed the video, and catch up for the next review.